Number 1. Brock Lesnar crashes the party, 2019. Starting off our list with number 1, we have Brock Lesnar in one of the most WWE gonna WWE moments in recent history. The Money in the Bank ladder match is underway. 8 men are beating the hell out of each other, and then Brock Lesnar's music hits. The Beast Incarnate wasn't even supposed to be in this match. Lesnar runs to the ring, German suplexes everyone in sight, climbs the ladder like he's picking apples, and grabs the briefcase. No explanation, no build-up, no storyline reason, just Brock being Brock and taking what he wants. Now, I love Brock Lesnar as much as the next wrestling fan, but this was peak creative has nothing booking. 8 guys work their asses off in a ladder match, and the part-timer who wasn't even scheduled shows up and steals their thunder. It's like showing up to a marathon at the finish line and claiming you won. Technically impressive? Sure. Satisfying storytelling? Not even close. The crowd was more confused than excited, and honestly, so was I. Number 2, John Cena's historic failure, 2012. At number 2, we have John Cena making history in the worst possible way. Big Match John became the first Money in the Bank winner to actually lose his cash-in attempt. Think about that. The briefcase that's supposed to guarantee championship gold, and somehow Cena found a way to screw it up. He cashed in on CM Punk during his legendary WWE Championship reign, and through a combination of bad luck and Big Show interference, Cena lost by disqualification. Punk retained the title, Cena lost his briefcase, and fans were left sitting there wondering what the point of any of it was. Now I get it. WWE was protecting both guys because Cena losing clean would have been shocking, and ending Punk's reign in a cheap cash-in would have been disappointing. But the execution just left everyone confused. It's like they took the easiest booking decision in wrestling and somehow made it complicated. Only WWE could take a guaranteed success story and turn it into a what-if scenario. Number 3, James Ellsworth makes history, 2017. And our number 3 most WTF Money in the Bank moment goes to James Ellsworth becoming the first man to win a women's Money in the Bank match. Yes, you heard that right. In the inaugural women's Money in the Bank ladder match, a man climbed the ladder and grabbed the briefcase. Ellsworth was there as Carmella's advocate, but when push came to shove, he literally pushed the ladder, climbed it himself, and handed the briefcase down to Carmella. The crowd's reaction was pure fury, and honestly, they had every right to be angry. This was supposed to be a historic moment for women's wrestling, their first ever Money in the Bank match, a chance to show they could deliver the same high-stakes drama as the men's division. Instead, we got a storyline where a man had to help a woman win, completely undermining the entire purpose of the match. WWE had to restart the match 2 days later on SmackDown just to try and fix the backlash. Carmella eventually won it properly, but the damage was done. This wasn't just a bad booking decision, it was a tone-deaf moment that showed WWE still didn't fully understand the significance of women's wrestling evolution. Number 4, Otis shocks the world, 2020. Coming in at number 4, we have the moment that nobody saw coming, and that still doesn't make sense if you really think about it. Otis, the comedy wrestler who is more known for his food obsession and romance storylines than his main event potential, won the Money in the Bank ladder match. This wasn't your typical ladder match either. It was 2020, pandemic era, so we got a cinematic style match filmed at WWE headquarters, and somehow, through all the chaos and production value, the guy known for eating ham sandwiches and doing the caterpillar dance emerged as Mr. Money in the Bank. The wrestling world's collective reaction was basically, I'm sorry, what now? Don't get me wrong, Otis is entertaining, but nobody had him on their fantasy booking sheets as a world championship contender. The push fizzled out faster than a wet firecracker, and looking back, it feels like WWE just wanted to do something completely unexpected without thinking about what comes next. Number 5, Austin Theory's bizarre choice, 2022. Number 5 brings us to Austin Theory's decision that broke wrestling tradition in the weirdest way possible. For years, Money in the Bank was about world championships, WWE Championship, Universal Championship, the big gold that makes careers. Austin Theory looked at that tradition and said, you know what? I want the United States Championship instead. Theory became the first person in Money in the Bank history to cash in on a non-world title, targeting the US Championship. The wrestling world collectively went, wait, what? It was like winning a lottery ticket and using it to buy a candy bar instead of a house. And here's the kicker. He lost! Not only did he break tradition in the most underwhelming way possible, but he couldn't even win the lesser championship. The fans roasted this decision so hard on social media that it became a meme. Sometimes innovation is good, but sometimes you innovate yourself right into irrelevance. Number 6. Damien Sandow versus injured Cena. Sliding into number 6, we have Damien Sandow's career-killing cash-in attempt. It should have been a slam dunk. The injured babyface, the optimistic heel with the guaranteed victory briefcase. It's Wrestling Book 101. But somehow, some way, WWE managed to have Sandow lose clean to a one-armed John Cena. Let me repeat that. Damien Sandow, with a guaranteed championship contract, lost to an injured John Cena in a straight-up wrestling match. It wasn't a fluke, it wasn't shenanigans, Sometimes, Cena just overpowered him and won. Sando's push died that night, and honestly, it never recovered. This is the kind of booking that makes you question whether WWE understands their own storylines. Number 7. Baron Corbin gets embarrassed, 2017. Number 7 takes us to one of the most embarrassing cash-in attempts in WWE history. Baron Corbin, the lone wolf himself, decided to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Jinder Mahal. Already, we're in weird territory because Jinder as WWE champion was a choice. But okay, let's see how this plays out. Corbin's music hits, the briefcase is handed over, the bell rings, and then he immediately gets rolled up and pinned in what felt like 15 seconds. 15 seconds! I've seen commercial breaks last longer than Corbin's championship opportunity. This wasn't just a failed cash-in, this was character assassination in real time. The Lone Wolf went from being a legitimate threat to being a punchline faster than you could say Money in the Bank. The crowd didn't even have time to boo properly before it was over. It was like watching someone trip and fall while walking up to accept an award. Pure secondhand embarrassment for everyone involved. Number 8. Mr. Kennedy's Injury Curse, 2007. Coming in at number 8, and this one still breaks my heart as a Kennedy fan, we have the briefcase that never got cashed in. Kennedy won Money in the Bank in 2007, and everything looked perfect. This guy had all the tools, the mic skills, the look, the attitude. He was money, literally and figuratively. But then wrestling's cruelest mistress, injury, came knocking. Kennedy got hurt, and instead of waiting for him to recover, WWE decided to strip him of the briefcase and hand it over to Edge. Just like that, Kennedy's main event push was dead in the water. What makes this even more frustrating is that Edge went on to have a fantastic cash-in, which just makes you wonder what could have been. Kennedy never really recovered from this momentum killer, and it's one of those sliding door moments that changed the trajectory of his entire career. Sometimes the biggest WTF moment isn't what happens in the ring, it's what happens backstage. Number 9. Braun Strowman's No Contest Nightmare, 2018. At number 9, we have Braun Strowman's cash-in that somehow managed to end in a no contest. Let that sink in for a moment. The Money in the Bank briefcase is supposed to be your golden ticket to championship gold, and somehow Braun found a way to turn it into a participation trophy. It's Hell in the Cell 2018. Roman Reigns is your Universal Champion, and Braun decides it's time to strike. The match starts, the crowd is hyped, and then chaos. Absolute chaos. The match gets thrown out due to interference and shenanigans, and technically Braun still has his briefcase. But psychologically, the momentum was dead. The crowd booed this decision so hard you could feel the building shake. It was like ordering a pizza and getting an empty box. Technically the delivery happened, but where's the satisfaction? This was peak WWE frustration booking, where they managed to make their monster heel look weak and disappoint the audience in one fell swoop. Number 10. Nikki Ash's Sneaky Win, 2021. Rounding out our list at number 10, we have Nikki Ash pulling off what might be the most awkward Money in the Bank victory in women's division history. Picture this. It's 2021. Everyone's beating the hell out of each other in a chaotic ladder match, and while the heavy hitters are distracted, our superhero cosplaying Scottish Lass quietly climbs up and snatches the briefcase like she's stealing cookies from a cookie jar. Now, I'll give credit where it's due. She actually cashed in successfully the very next night and became champion, but man, the way she won it was just weird. It felt like watching someone win the lottery by accidentally buying the right ticket. The crowd's reaction was pure confusion, and honestly, so was mine. Sometimes the underdog story works, and sometimes it just feels like creative threw a dart at a board blindfolded. What made this moment even more bizarre was the timing and execution. WWE had been building up several other women as potential winners. You had legitimate contenders like Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, and Tamina all looking strong throughout the match, but in classic WWE fashion, they went with the most unexpected choice possible. Nikki had been floundering with her superhero gimmick for months, getting lukewarm reactions from crowds who weren't quite sure what to make of her character.